Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
Hey,
Greetings.
welcome to a brand new episode of But Am I Wrong? Starring two people who have not once ever in their entire lives been wrong. It's quite a feat. Undefeated.
I know it's a title that we bear. Sometimes it's rough out here, but at least we have each other.
I don't know what we would do because heavy is the heads that wear the crowns. Crown me, brother. I'm rebranding Drake and Josh.
So I don't know what that is, but
it's
okay.
Hug me, brother. But I'm changing it. This is a podcast where we talk about who's wrong. We have 3 different segments. We will explain each of them in depth before we get into them. But what you need to know is we like for you to be an active participant. So not only do we ask you to write in, submit your own situations, tag us on things that you want us to talk about, but also we want you to vote on who you think was wrong. So we have that over on our Instagram stories. They will be up on there. We also put them in a highlight, and it's just a little poll, and you vote this, they were wrong, they weren't wrong. And then you can also write in about why you voted the way you did, what you feel about it, if you have any personal experience, any thoughts, any feelings. And then we read all of that, the results, as well as your messages anonymously, of course, unless you don't want them to be anonymous, but we'll only not be anonymous if you tell us that. We read those on our Friday episode, which is called Fisting Friday. And it's a great time. Sometimes there we also issue corrections, like I did.
Or additions.
Yeah, additions. It wasn't corrections. It wasn't additions. It was things I forgot. So it's a grand old, giddy old time. And yeah. So my hot take is something that might get me accused of being paid by the big rings, the big O's, the Olympics. And what I'm really doing is I'm doing free, unpaid labor and PR because the Olympics, have we gotten to a late stage capitalism version of the Olympics? Yes. Do I think we need to abandon ship of something that is centuries old? No. And I kind of have maybe some might say, this actually might be a hot take or like quite, whatever. This is what I like to say, an unethical workaround for an unethical circumstance. Sometimes you got to play with fire to get more fire.
Like the torch?
Exactly. I saw the Olympic torch.
When?
Ran through my town.
Oh, I thought you meant recently.
No, bitch, I would have told you. There's no way I would have seen that and then
like,
not.
Why is it here?
No, it would have been FaceTime the same way when you tried to FaceTime me with Shaq. Like it would have immediately.
Yeah. But also, again, why would it be here?
No, I don't know. So I think it was the year it was going to Tahoe, I assume.
Yeah. I'm excited about Not Wrigley, but like
No.
in 4 years
You'll
when
get what
the
I'm
Olympics
gonna say.
are here. Okay, great.
So I know that the Olympics are this age-old tradition where these cities host every couple years, and whoever gets nominated, and this money goes to these cities, and then we're told that what it does is increase tourism and they reap the benefits tenfold, and that does not happen. The Olympics are something that are meant to be watched on television. The Olympics are not meant, it's kind of like the Grammys. And I can say that because I've been. Sometimes performances and things are, you can see them a lot better on television. And we've recently known that because these cities get trashed. They, like, the people who, like, it just is, they are desolate afterwards. Like, they have financial strain and all of these things. Like, it does not guarantee that people are going to go, especially because they're not showing the city. They're showing the Olympics, and the Olympics aren't in that city afterwards. So there's not like lasting tourism effects. And it feels like we keep doing this over and over and over again without getting to the point of like a lot of people in the cities are like, don't come here. Don't come here. This is making everything so hard. And I love the Olympics, but the Olympics coming to LA, I looked up the locations where they're doing things. It's fucking crazy. They're literally all over the city to the point where like, we do not have public transportation, like point blank. We don't have public transportation. So that means that like not only can athletes not use that public transportation, people who live here can't. So like we're all going to be on the roads at the same time. The fact that like this is supposed to be like specific times that things start airing is crazy to me. I can't even stress to you how far away everything is. I don't even think for an athlete it would be fun. And so my hot take is that the Olympics should only be in a handful of cities forever. And I really think that they should be in cities where they don't have to create new infrastructure to hold them. If they already are like a fully huge built city and if they don't have the space to do that. But I also don't necessarily think that they should be using these old ass, like historic, beautiful buildings for thousands of fucking people to come in and essentially use them to build out a modern day setup that's not there. And here's where this gets controversial. You know what I think probably the perfect city to do it would be? Dubai.
I was going to say Fayetteville, Arkansas.
Well, I was going to say like places like where like cities that have a lot of money and are paying a lot of money in like tourism and PR trips and are trying to do all of that stuff. Like do it in the countries that are desperate for like the place or the city. Do it somewhere that they're like, hey, we have the infrastructure. It's completely empty here. This is like, we're building all of this as this is happening. It's just one of those things that like, to pretend it's an honor when in reality, like no one fucking wants to host it there. Like, let's think ahead then. Let's stop trying to stop trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. And like, you want to do the Olympics. And like, yes, again, I can acknowledge it is like late stage capitalism to a fucking T. Like all of the advertisers and all of this shit. But like in reality, it would be smart, even if like a Fayetteville, whatever, have like a city, the Walmart, sponsored by the Walmart family. All of these sponsors are that. Like, there is a way, like, we're not escaping capitalism. And I would love if we could like intertwine that with the Olympics, but we can't. And so how about if we can't fix that, let's fix the fact that like we go to places and completely displace locals, anyone, the infrastructure, like the actual architecture of the city and all of those things. People are being harmed in other ways. Let's minimize the harm that way. And if you're going to do it with all the sponsors and all of this kind of shit, maybe you do it in a place that is sponsored by Dubai. Welcome to travel to Dubai. Visit whatever the tourism board, whatever of a place that wants to do it. Or you do it in a place that is sponsored by whatever that thing is. Tillamook cheese. Come over here. We're bringing you the Olympics. And that's my hot take because despite the fact that I love the Olympics, Tahoe, it was like so bad when the Olympics were there. And I know it's going to be so bad when the Olympics are in LA. And I think it's laughable that we still believe them at this point when they're like, we'll give you all this money to do it and it'll be amazing. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, what are you talking about? Anytime there's like a concert or like a Super Bowl or whatever, like you literally take white vans, you take anybody who is currently unhoused, living on the streets, you put them there, and then you transport them somewhere else so you don't see people in your drone shots. Like, why do we need that for weeks at a time? Our city is not built for it. And dare I say, most cities are not built for it. So find the ones that are. Or build a city for it.
Yeah, that's what I suggested, Fayetteville. There's enough stuff there. Like, y'all could have so many events at the Jump Center. But then also, which is in Springdale, but all the same area. But also, like, there's so much room where you could just build more stuff.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I was talking to my trainer, and he was talking about, like, oh, it was such a big deal when the Super Bowl was here, and then I think the World Cup is going to be here in a few years, or something soccer related. And then he was talking about the Olympics, and I was like, yeah, I'll probably try to get out of town for that. And he was like, the whole time I was like, well, if I'm living in the same, I probably won't be, but like in 4 years, if I'm still living in the same place that I live now, I'm centralized to a lot of the stuff. I could rent this place out and be good for a year. And then he was like, what event would happen here that you would have to go to? And I said, I don't have to go to anything. And he started cracking up laughing. I was just like,
you can't see anything.
I truly do not care.
No, and like, again, this is from two bitches who love the Olympics.
And I can watch it on TV. Unless they're going to personally invite us to come to something.
Unless I am meeting Simone Biles.
And she'll be retired by then.
I know. Allie Raceman and I think we are still mutuals, but we were mutuals for a while. I love her. Like, it's just, it's literally like, if anyone has ever seen that clip of Camila Cabello, I don't know if she was at Coachella or she was at like Governor's Ball or Lollapalooza or something, but there was like a 360 camera or whatever, and she just like wasn't even performing for the audience. She was performing for like the live stream. That is what the Olympics are like in person. Like, but again, you're in like stadium stands so fucking far away.
Yeah.
And like, it's actually crucial for me that they show me, that NBC shows me, Peacock shows me the slowed down versions of Sha'Carri Richardson running, because she's too fast. I won't be able to fucking see her. I won't even know. Like, it's just, and I just think we're like, everybody's lying to themselves, pretending that this is like great for, like, it's not. Like, it's not good for tourism. It's not going to make any more money.
How much more tourism can we have here?
I'm saying
the tourism is already high.
You're not seeing Tarte doing like a trip to LA because the LA Board of Tourism is paying them to. They're going to Dubai. Go to a place where they're like, please, we need tourists. Here, we're like, leave. We don't need more tourists. And if you come, at least come without a rental car. Go in an Uber. They know how to drive around in the city. I don't want you getting hurt. Like, I'm just sorry. Can you imagine Olympians walking down Hollywood Boulevard? Can you imagine Olympians? Because here's the thing. I think they're going to go to the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I think they're going to go try and see the stars. I think they'll be like, look at LA.
No.
And I don't think that they're going to get an accurate depiction of LA. And I think everyone's going to hate on LA more. And I get really mad when people hate on like this idea of LA. That's not LA.
Yep. I agree. You're not wrong.
Thank you.
All right. Here is mine. It's also sports related. The national anthem should be sung at games at the skill level at which the country is operating at the moment. So, in case you didn't know, recently Ingrid Andres, I believe is how you say her last name, was at the MLB Home Run Derby, and she sang the national anthem. She got a lot of flack because it sounded atrocious, to say the least, but she has since come out and said that she was drunk and she was going to rehab, and I hope that she gets the help that she needs, because I don't take alcoholism lightly, but I think she gave the national anthem the service that it deserves. Some people see the national anthem as like a patriotic tradition. We're honoring the country. It's a symbol of unity. There's like some historical significance to it. There's ceremonial openings, and it's to respect our armed forces and be inspirational. Why do we need that at a sporting event? It first started in the late 19th and 20th centuries as like organized sports became more popular. And for some reason, this made a national identity, and this solidified that. And then singing the national anthem before games became a way to express patriotism and unity. And then during the World Wars, during World War I and World War II, singing the national anthem at sporting events gained prominence as a way to boost morale and honor soldiers and rally support for the war efforts. It became a symbol of national pride and solidarity. And then when the civil rights movement came about in the mid-20th century, the national anthem took on added significance because athletes and activists used it as moments to make political statements and to call attention to issues in social justice equality. And I think we should still be doing that. If we are forced to sing the national, we're not forced, but it is the norm and socially you're expected to sing the national anthem, then we should use it in a way to make a statement. And I think that Ingrid made a statement. The only time that I'll allow it is during the Olympics, as Meghan was just talking about, because, that is something where you are divided by your country. So that makes sense to me. But other than that, if the country is shitty, there should be shitty singing. And that should be a form of protest. And I stand by that.
Melissa, I love that. I love
Thank
that.
you.
I saw someone talk about her national anthem being like, I just need her to know that, like, we love her. And this is a moment in history. And, like, girl, like, you're an icon. Like, what? Like, this is great. I think it's also, like, a fucking crazy hard song to sing.
Right.
So I think, like, taking creative liberties with it, which that's not what she did, but, like, taking intentional creative liberties.
Fergie did.
Exactly. Taking intentional creative liberties. I don't need to hear you sing the same song every time. Switch it up.
Let's play some basketball.
Exactly.
Add your own little razzle dazzle to it.
Come on. Throw a little beat in there. Just be like, ooh, I like the beat. Shake it up. Like, come on. Like, flip it, switch it. Like, it is old, it is stale, it is dry. And, like, sure, sometimes it's great. But also, like, if you're going to make children sing it at fucking baseball games, I need people to have a little bit of creative liberties because it's hard. And why are we having children sing it?
Why are we singing it at all?
No, Melissa, that's I don't even know the words. And only time, like you said, the only time that I'm, like, ready to sing the national anthem is if a British person is around wanting me not to. And I go,
oh, say, can you see, bitch?
Bitch, can you see? Oh, say, can you? By the dawn's early light, motherfucker. I don't even know what the song's about.
Like bombs bursting in air. It's
yeah,
about,
but
like,
they try and make it all flowery. And I'm like, why? They try and make it sound like it's like a 4th of July fireworks show. And I'm like, I think we're singing about war and atomic and, like, dropping bombs.
Well, it was before atomic
bombs. But, like, the other kinds.
Yeah. Like
from
cannonballs
planes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know. The guillotine. What other ways did they do it back then? A flamethrower.
Yeah. Whatever. Bombs bursting in air.
Exactly.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll get into But Are You Wrong?
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, FDA approved for over 20 years. So, talk to your specialist to see if Botox Cosmetic is right for you.
For full prescribing information, including boxed warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Remember to ask for Botox Cosmetic by name. To see for yourself and learn more, visit BotoxCosmetic.com. That's BotoxCosmetic.com.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.
We are back. It's time for But Are You Wrong? And this is where we read your submissions that you send to butamiwrongpod@gmail.com. You keep them under 300 words. Tell us a circumstance or situation you have found yourself in. And if you were in the wrong, let us know what you think that you are wrong about. You're wondering if you're wrong about. Other people think you were maybe wrong about. And we will be the final decider to tell you if you are wrong. So make sure you include your age, pronouns, if you would like. You don't have to do pronouns, but it is all anonymous. So please use some pseudonyms. Okay. Hey, ladies, boy, do I have a but am I wrong for you. Great, I'm hooked. My friend is getting married next Valentine's Day. Let's call her Tiff. You are not making this easy for me to be on the other person's side at all. Valentine's Day wedding named Tiff.
We're just a couple words.
Immediately. So her bridesmaids are pretty spread out. Some live in our hometown, some are in other parts of the country. We had a Zoom meeting to discuss the wedding. Bachelorette party, bridal showers, dresses, all the fun stuff. I'm really looking forward to everything. So as the call was wrapping up, she asks 4 out of the 10, that's a lot of bridesmaids, asked 4 of the 10 to stay on, including me. So she's like, hey guys, I have a little bit of a sensitive topic. I'm wanting a very clean cut wedding appearance for everyone. In my head, I'm like, oh, sorry, this is you again. In my head, I'm like, where the fuck is she going with this? She continues and says, I know you guys all have tattoos that are visible, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to put some makeup on to cover them. My jaw is literally on the floor. She goes on to say, oh, don't worry. I found some makeup, and I'll talk to my makeup artist about applying it so it's on correctly. The makeup is $75 for an 8-ounce tube. I have multiple visible tattoos. I need about 4 at the minimum. Crazy of all, these other 3 girls are wholeheartedly agreeing. So I let her wrap up the Zoom and then I FaceTime her. I say, hey, my tattoos have sentimental reasons and I'm not paying that much money to cover them. I understand it's your wedding and I don't expect you to make an exception for me, but if it comes down to it, I'll attend, but I won't be a bridesmaid. She said she would think on it and let me know. Am I wrong for thinking she's asking too much for me to cover my tattoos? Does Tiff have a job? This is crazy.
This is crazy. I do think 8 ounces will significantly cover like your whole body multiple times. So I don't think you will be buying more than
especially if it's dermablend.
Yeah, like that stuff goes a long way with a little dot. But like, no, don't you want your wedding and the people that are there to stand up for you to be a reflection of who they actually are?
Yeah, why are you having bridesmaids?
Right. The fuck?
I think also I really want like a clean cut wedding aesthetic.
That is disgusting.
Excuse me? Okay, I'll show up in my birthday suit in a bathtub with bubbles. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
In that case, like, you need to, it's in February, provide, the dresses should all be turtleneck, covering hands and feet. And then we just got faces showing. Some people might have tattoos on their face, but their regular makeup will cover some of it. Like, what the fuck?
Also, clean cut aesthetic. You know what that look gives me?
Aryan Nation.
It actually still fits with what I was going to say. Mr. Clean. It's giving me a bald man. Like, okay, sure. I'll show up there clean cut, shiny as a bowling ball, my lady. Like,
Mr. Clean might not be allowed because he has an earring and he'd probably have to take it out.
Yeah. And that's the only earring
I think he has
see,
a tattoo too.
By the way, I know that what Mr. Clean's got going on under there. That man, he's got a fun outdoor, he's got a fun life, fun personal life. But this is crazy. And this is why I say the wedding industrial complex is a disease. Like, it is a fucking, like, this to me is like the time in the movie where you have to like shake your friend awake. Like, no, they got you. Like, wake up. Like, who the fuck told you that this is something you could do, or that this is a good idea, or whatever, that this is like a legitimate thing you can ask someone? And this is how I know, like, you are not being told no or that you're not the most important person in the world by enough people. Like right now, you are being propped up by like, oh my God, it's your whatever you want, whatever you want, whatever you want. No, that's insanity. Like it's truly just fucking insane. And those other girls, my question is, who's paying for those dresses? Because to have an accurate cover up for tattoo, first of all, will look worse than just having the tattoo there. And if she wanted to edit them out in photos, I still think that's fucking weird, but it will look better. Having with makeup on, you still have to do like editing and post to that. It will look fucking weird in person because in order for it to like work on photos, it just doesn't look like a full cover up. Karrueche played a high schooler in my movies. She's covered in fucking tattoos. She had to get there like 3 hours before everybody else. If she was just showing her arms, if she showed her legs, she had to get there like 6 hours before to have all these people working on this. It's not going to be a fucking quick thing for your makeup artist to do. And then like, she can't touch shit. So like, you would have to like, if it was like really sealed in, it would not be as covered or as the other ones were. And if it has to be fully covered, you know, it's not going to last. You're going to have to do touch-ups. It might get on your outfit. Like it might get on,
especially your dress. Girl, if you're wearing white,
it's going to get on the bride. Like it's just so unrealistic and such a delusional fucking thing that you're not only are you like so not wrong, check in on your friend. Like this is fucking crazy to me. Like this is
I would walk away.
Yeah, I would walk away before she even asks.
Is she gonna if you decide you don't want to be a bridesmaid anymore, would she make you cover it up as a guest?
She won't want any pictures with you because you have tattoos showing. Like, where is this? Like, this is just like such a trad. This is Olivia Culpo wedding vibes of just like this sudden massive shift in this. That like, what if other guests have tattoos, and also to ask people to change something about themselves so they fit in with what you want versus being like, hey, what I want is like kind of fucked up, but I'm not going to make that anybody else's problem. I'm not going to have bridesmaids. That's the part that's the most insane to me. Because like she's comfortable saying this to you all.
And this is coming from two people who one of us has a hidden tattoo and one of us doesn't have tattoos at all.
Oh, I forgot about mine. Yeah, like
you'll never see Meghan's ever.
Not at a wedding unless I pull it out.
Unless you pull it out and it's forceful.
Unless I whip that shit out. So yeah, it's just like, what? To me, that's like weddings change people, dude. Like they fucking do. And this is, to me, I'm gonna think on it. Like I think you're being way too gracious.
I say you four band together and say no, and you could probably get the other 6 people on your side too.
By the way, the makeup artist will say no. Yeah. And it will look bad. It will look worse. And she will be upset about the photos. And then she will take it out on you for having tattoos, not for her asking you to cover them up badly. Because they will look bad, covered up badly.
Fuck off.
Yeah, you have to color correct. You have to neutralize. Like if other people have colored tattoos, if they're not just black ones, which are like green, like it's fucking... Yeah. This is not like simple shit.
Meanwhile, the most fun I've ever had at a wedding was an Indian wedding, and I was covered in henna, and every woman there was. So, and we had a blast, and those pictures are gorgeous. So suck my left tit.
I would also take this even more seriously as reevaluating the friendship if the bride is a white woman. As a white woman, I say that.
All right. Hey, Melissa and Meghan. I have a but am I wrong situation that I'm pretty damn sure I'm wrong in. So my friend's car broke down last week. Her insurance didn't cover a rental. I have an extra car, but it's not at all reliable. More of a point A to point B situation. If you're lucky to get to point B without a call to get picked up on the side of the road. So she asked if she could borrow my other car for a few days while hers was in the shop. I told her I didn't feel comfortable lending it to her because the car is on its last leg and I didn't want it to break down on her. She didn't get upset or anything, but I could tell she was disappointed. I volunteered to take her to and from work as I work from home. She turned me down and said she'd figure it out. I feel like I was in the wrong, but I came up with a solution. What do you guys think? I don't think you're wrong at all. I think it is a liability to put somebody on the road in a car that can break down easily.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. My question is, what state do you live in? So like, is it like California where if I drive any car, it's then under my insurance, not the owner's insurance? Because that's a huge liability for you as well. And also, how good of a driver is she? How, like, do we know why because cars break down all the time, but like, you know, what happened? Because that to me would also lead to the fact that like, if she broke down on the freeway and it was traumatizing as fuck, I'm not going to lend you my car that you think will not be that I don't want to put you back in that same situation because you're feeling desperate. That's kind of one of those things where it's like 2-3 days later afterwards, you go, wow, I'm really glad that person didn't do, you know what I mean? Like, but in the moment, it feels like it's a solution. So I don't think you're wrong. I think like, you know, I think without further explanation to it, I could totally see that like they feel fine accepting the liability of being like, if let's say you're in a state where she would be insured on your car, and it's not your car at that point. Like she's driving it, it's insured under, like she's got the driver's insurance or whatever. And she's like, I'm fine taking like that risk or whatever. And it's like, well, that's not like, and she's upset that you're, even though she says she's like waiving all of that. I don't know. Depending on what the circumstance of how her car broke down, I wouldn't necessarily be like, I don't know that you're making the best judgment call based on what you just went through.
This is what I think happened. I think she thought she was gonna ask for that car, and you would be like, well, I work from home. Why don't you take my other car? I think that's what happened.
Well, that is a good point, because if I just had a car break down, the last thing I would want is to hop in another car that I can't count on. Like your cortisol, like you're just so fucking stressed and anxious when you know that your car is not fucking doing. I can say this. I drove a Jeep for a couple years. Like it's just like a ticking time bomb. And so that makes it good. That's a good point. Cause I'm like, why would you put yourself through that again?
I think that's what it was. And then when you offered to drive her in your car that works, she was like, well, I could just take your car since you work from home.
Oh my God. Wait.
Which in that case, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with people just like having my car like that too.
Not my primary car.
Yeah.
I would let a couple people, begrudgingly, I let mods use it.
And that's your person that you're in the same house with.
Yeah. And also we get the cars through family dealership. So I'm like, you know, and all of them know how good at driving he is. So I'm like, whatever. Like,
as I've stated time and time again on the show.
We almost died. I'd let you drive my car. I'd let a couple of friends of mine who I've spent extended periods of the time in the car with, or like extended periods of time in general. Like Lily and I have done long road trips. Casey and I have done long road trips. Like there are those people that I would be like, oh, of course. And also like knowing how responsible they are. So for me, if you came to me and said, hey, my car broke down, I'm working from home and you're like, can I borrow your car? I would let you use it. No fucking questions asked.
Yeah.
But there's other people that I would go, I have a lot of questions and I'm probably going to say no. So I think if your instinct is not to be like, of course, automatically, there's a reason. Yeah. And like, it could be just the car, or it could also be like the liability of that, or even like you being more considerate about like the stress of having 2 fucking cars break down on her. And also she doesn't own this one. So like, I don't know, like do you trust her that if it broke down the side of the road, she wouldn't just fucking abandon it there and then like drop the pin and tell you where to get it?
Like if it did break down, since you have it essentially parked at home, if it broke down, then I feel like it would be her responsibility to have it towed. But would she feel that same way?
Yeah. But again, if it was you and me, I would know that you would tow it immediately, but like without even having to ask. So this to me, like having it being a no with no further questions or whatever, and then trying to offer a solution. Yeah, you don't feel comfortable, and therefore she shouldn't feel. If someone said, I don't feel comfortable with you driving it, it's not reliable, then I don't feel comfortable driving it. But that makes sense though, that you think that maybe she wanted to drive the other car.
Yep.
Because if someone said it breaks down all the time, I wouldn't feel safe you driving it. I would go, great. Thank you for letting me know.
Right.
Not like, whatever.
One time I was with a friend and we went and we were out of town, but we had driven her car to where we were going. And she ended up hooking up with somebody and stayed out all night, even though we were in her car. And then the next day she was too tired to drive back home and then wanted me to drive home. And on the way home, the tire like blue. And she like wanted me to pay for it. I'm
That's
like, one,
insane.
This is your car. Like, two, even if this had happened and you were like awake enough to drive, it still would have blown. It's not like I
didn't
like
crash your car.
Right. And then like I didn't want to drive your car to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be my responsibility?
And it's not like you guys rolled over like a nail or something that like only on this trip. And so it's like, oh, we all went because we all wanted. The only reason we were in this car is because we all wanted to go. Let's split the cost evenly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's gas.
Right.
No.
Also, we made it all the way back home, like 3 hours. So it probably wasn't even.
Wait,
didn't
it blew
even
back
get blown.
home?
Huh?
It blew on like when you were basically back home.
Yeah. So it probably wasn't even me. Like it was after she called me and was like, "Hey, the tire like
shut
blew."
the fuck up." I
So
thought you meant
even
you
me.
were driving and then it blew.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you pulled over on the side of the road. No, it was when she got home.
Yeah.
That's
and I forgot that last detail till right now. It's been years. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. So let's take a break.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey everyone, join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
Each week, we deliver 4 fun-filled shows.
In Don't Blame Me, we tackle our listeners' dilemmas with hilariously honest advice.
Then we have But Am I Wrong, which is for the listeners that didn't take our advice. Plus, we share our hot takes on current events.
Then tune in to See You Next Tuesday for our listener poll results from But Am I Wrong?
And finally, wrap up your week with Fisting Friday, where we catch up and talk all things pop culture.
Listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
And we are back, and it is time for our next segment, which is But Are They Wrong?, where we nominate a person, place, or thing, someone in pop culture, current events, zeitgeist, who we think deserves some public shaming. So I have to give a shout out to Melisa for this, because I was like, what am I going to talk about? And then she says, I for sure thought you were doing Sticker Mule. And I said, oh my God, why am I not doing Sticker Mule? And thankfully, you're not doing it. So now I am. So I would like to nominate Sticker Mule. And if you're like me, you might have had no idea who the fuck what this company was up until 48 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Sticker Mule is a custom like sticker printing thing. Like get stickers. It's like a Redbubble for stickers, just sticker. I think they might do decals too.
Yeah, but they're like a supplier. Like you send it your design, or like you sell stuff on Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're like
they fulfill
the
it.
Big. Yeah, they're the fulfiller.
So they decided that apparently just fulfilling the needs of stickers wasn't enough. they needed people to know that they were Republicans and that they supported Donald Trump. So they sent the weirdest fucking email blast. This is like, I need to know, whoever sent this email, did you work at Pretty Little Thing before? Because like the way you could get like, hey girl, like exploding with deals on the 4th of July, like they'll do ones that are like, okay, that's a little dark. I'm pretty sure some of them even did 9/11 ones. And it's like, let's not. So they sent an email with the subject Trump 2024. And they, again, it's one of those emails that you get email blast. You bought things from them before. So it says, hey, Chris, this is the person who received this one. Donald Trump was shot. I don't care what your political views are, but the hate for Trump and his supporters has gone too far. People are terrified to admit they support Trump. I've been scared myself. Americans shouldn't live in fear. I support Trump. Many at Sticker Mule do. Many at Sticker Mule also support Biden. The political hate needs to stop. Hopefully this email helps. By the way, this week, get one shirt for $4, normally $19, and that is a hyperlinked part. I suggest buying one that shows you support Trump. The more people that realize millions of kind-hearted, compassionate people support Trump, the sooner the hate will end. Awesome people all over the world love Trump. Don't limit your friendships and diminish your happiness by indulging in political hate. Vocalize your support. Stop the hate. From Anthony, the co-founder. And everybody was like, what the fuck? Because I have to say, I would assign stickers as a liberal or Democratic item. Like, Republicans sometimes put stickers on their car, bumper stickers, whatever, but like a hydro flask, a computer, a coexist sticker, like but you're in the wrong field. So of course, all of these fucking people who have used this as their like fulfillment, they're like, what the fuck? Like, this is so fucking weird. I will say, as somebody who didn't know this company existed, I do have to question how nobody saw that their logo is that of a mule, which is similar to a donkey. And nobody thought that there was like, this to me already gave political vibes. Do you know what I mean? And like, that's not, they're like Republicans are elephants, but like it still to me felt like, okay, odd. And then when I looked it up, because I was like, there's no way like to announce your political belief system when your logo is, again, a mule, looks like a donkey. And I don't automatically assume you're a Republican, but I definitely associate politics with those silhouettes. And I was like, how is this? What? And then I look it up. They have been breadcrumbing their belief system for years, months and years, like pro Elon Musk tweets. They've been like liking and engaging with like right-wing content on like their accounts for a while. And it seems like they just weren't getting enough traction from that. And like they wanted people to know. And so they're like, this is a perfect opportunity to essentially do what some of these companies do, which is basically like an employee says something and stands against like bigotry or hatred or whatever. And then the corporation goes, actually, we don't stand for that. We stand for the bigotry and hatred. And then you have all of the fucking right wing, like Proud Boys hopping in being like, oh, you've got my business. Like that's the vibe that they're getting. Like it's as if that's what their goal was. And to me, that's really what this whole thing has felt like, is that they wanted one of those moments to like reach their true audience, which again, I just don't know that there's like such a huge demand for Republicans buying stickers.
Right.
Like, you know, I just don't know. And then they did a follow-up email saying, hey, crazy week. I gave $2,500 bonuses to all 79 people on our support team because they received death threats. Couldn't have given to them without them receiving death. So you had the money.
But also, like, if you already have the money, then just add that to their paycheck as it is.
Yeah.
That means that you're just keeping money for yourself.
You were holding it out until they received death threats. That must stop. But on the bright side, we paid out $195,000 in bonuses. Should have done that sooner.
Right.
If people expressing hate towards us want us to feel good about something, they can take credit for helping our support team earn sizable bonuses. Also, we changed the deal to 50 stickers for $9 through Friday. I hope my message for supporting Donald Trump and encouraging respect for all people becomes a learning moment for everyone. As much as the backlash we received, it's good for society that people learn that lots of people with big hearts support Trump. I want maximum happiness for everyone.
If they actually receive death threats, say everybody's receiving free therapy.
Oh, no, it would be everybody's already received that because we have a wonderful medical benefit.
True.
But we don't.
Yep.
At all. So we're just using our employees as pawns. And also, none of this probably happened. This is all probably not real at all. And like, this is giving me rage bait trying to get this to be like like the My Pillow guy or Goya. Is it Goya beans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just that. And like he's been trying forever to do it and nobody cared at all until he like started doing like he's like, I need to go bigger. I need more people to know. I need more people. And it's just like so fucking pathetic. And I have to say, in like the same like 24 months that Nancy Pelosi's husband, like that break-in and he got like, and the fucking tweets that Republicans were sending, like literally like sitting in an office on the set, like Republicans posting about that moment. And now it's like, hey, be so nice to him. He got a paper cut on his ear, and I need you all to just know it could happen to anyone. So this kills me. And it's just so embarrassing. I'm not going to like give any of the recommendations for like other brands, but like if you search on Reddit, because like I don't know what people want or like what's good or whatever, I can't give personal experience. But there are so many like Reddit posts of people being like, hey, this is what I use. I use Sticker Mule as my supplier for like selling my stickers. Does anyone have any other recommendations of good brands? And lots of people have them. So you don't need to keep supporting them inadvertently, even if you don't like support what they did or what they stand for or Donald Trump. But apparently there's lots of other brands who do this, which makes total sense to me. But I just thought it was crazy. And then finally, the one I saw like this morning was they are now being accused of doxing people because one guy had like a lot of people had like basically responded to the email being like they had subscription services or they had like a year long whatever and being like, hey, cancel this, please. I don't want to fulfill my order moving forward. And they were like, okay, cool. Customer support saying, okay, cool. And then, you know, they probably like they leave a review being like, they no longer have my business after what they had posted, you know, political wise, that does not align with my value system. And this guy, his account is Avinia Comics, AVIN with an N on top, A Comics, saying that he started getting like phone calls of people being like, do you like Trump? Do you hate Trump? Like just, and he's like, first of all, I haven't made a video about this. This isn't like from TikTok. Like I sent an email to the customer support team saying, please cancel my future order. And I don't want to work like, please cancel my year-long, whatever, our fulfillment partnership. And this is my review. I don't love that this was the stance you took on this. I don't find it appropriate. So they're like, he was like, is this people who work there who are now calling me, or are they sending my number to other people? Like there's nothing else that could have happened that would have gotten his number out to this. So I will be keeping up to date with that. Cause like I would not be shocked. Yeah. Cause it seems like they're desperate for attention more than anything.
It's wild. They also have it like that dumb photo of him with his fist in the air after he got shot with the flag behind him. They have that pinned on their Instagram account.
It's just so silly to me. And like, I don't know, when people are like so gung-ho for like Donald Trump and like the alt-right and all that shit, you better align with those belief systems. You better be a military man or a lumberjack or a CEO, because like if you're a liberal, they're like, stickers, you have a career of stickers? Wow, that's so good. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those things that I'm like, you're doing fulfillment of stickers that I'm sure half people who are doing them is like stickers that say like honk if you would get penetrated by Harry Styles. Like it's just like there's not like you're not doing this like we're only doing this stuff for America. I'm like, what an odd thing. What an odd fucking choice. That's mine.
All right. Mine, kind of along the same lines, actually, is Delta Airlines. And so Delta updated their uniform policy for employees after a recent controversy that happened with flag pins. And so their new guidelines, which went into effect on July 15th, said the only flags that can be worn on their uniforms are American flags. And previously, the company permitted pins representing all countries and nationalities of the world, especially because they fly all over the world. So earlier this month, somebody on Twitter posted a photo of 2 flight attendants that were wearing small Palestinian flag pins on their uniform. And the post that was shared and reposted numerous times complained about the pins and referred to the Palestinian flags as Hamas badges. In the post that Delta later deleted, it said, and this is on Delta's official Twitter account, and I thought it was not real the first time that I saw it, because I saw it once it had been deleted, but they said, "I hear you, as I'd be terrified as well personally." What the fuck? And then on July 10th, Delta deleted the post and said it was mistakenly posted because it was not in line with their values or their mission to connect with the world. The team member responsible for the post has been counseled and no longer supports Delta's social media channels. They didn't get fired. They got counseled. And then they apologized for the error, which they quote unquote call an error. But then they put this policy in place where you can only wear American flags. The airline also added that the photographed flight attendants were in compliance with Delta's uniforms guideline at the time. But since then, they've changed it. And then an account called, and this is where like I initially heard about the flight attendants being very upset about this. There's a video posted on TikTok that said, "Last 2 weeks, our coworkers face racist harassment online. Not only did Delta's official corporate account exacerbate the harassment, but they also implemented a new policy punishing all the flight attendants, saying that now we can only wear pins with U.S. flags. For decades, flight attendants industry-wide have worn flags as a symbol of our role connecting the world and connecting different cultures. The policy removes our right to express ourselves and does nothing to face the real problem, harassment." And then they like go on and talked about how the workers were being silenced. And this also was setting the stage for even more harassment and discrimination. They have a petition, the flight attendants that are strictly against this, and an open letter to the CEO of Delta. And they're asking for a public apology, a ban on non-consensual photography, and actions addressing the company's social media moderation. So I'll put a link to the petition in the show notes.
I didn't know. I saw the thing about the Twitter account, like what they posted. I did not hear that they're saying, "Oh, now you can only wear American flags." It's also just like so. We're the only country in the world American centric in a way that like America is a melting pot, which is like everyone says or whatever, and there is no official language of America. But for people who are flying, people who are on the plane are from all fucking over. And when they see someone who has a flag of maybe the country where they're from, and that's the language they feel more comfortable speaking in, the flight attendant might not even speak that language. But they're, it's like, oh, asking the question. It goes, oh no, but I have someone else here
but
who
I'm
does.
there in solidarity with you. Yeah. Like,
yes. And like, it just helps people feel seen in like, it's so fucking innocuous. Specifically, like you said, for like, this isn't like, Joe's Crab Shack or like Outback Steakhouse, which is like pretend Australia that's pretty much only in the US, or like a Mel's Diner. Like, no, this is a plane, an airline that quite literally, it's not a domestic air. This airline goes out of the country.
Right. An international airline.
Like, that's fucking crazy. And it's like, okay, if any flag besides the American flag upsets you so much, might I suggest not being on an airplane? Might I suggest you not being in a hub of people who are going all across the world? That's crazy.
This is wild.
This is like such a fucking overreach that like are they banning all flags? Like, are they gonna ban? Because like, are they banning like gay pride flags? Are they banning like the because like that's like you get to a point where you start coming for, because I don't know if like saying that you can only wear an American flag is not, I don't know if that's like coming after a protected class, but like if you do that and you ban ones that are not just about like if you ban, like, you know what I mean? Like if you start being like, well, you can wear a British one, then you get to a point where like, okay, so you are discriminating against other places or other people, and like flags can represent so many different things. And then if you don't let someone wear like the lesbian like pride flag, okay, then we get to the point of discrimination. So like I just This to me seems like a crazy thing that you would think when they have so many fucking lawyers, they would go, bad idea. Bad fucking idea. And I just pictured that Delta employee just like watching a like work sensitivity training fucking video and being like, I'm all better.
Yeah. And the thing is, they just got moved off the social media team. It wasn't even like they got fired or like punished. There was nothing. They watched a sensitivity video and probably got a raise.
Yep. I said, thanks for keeping those American values. Would you like a flag of the USA?
Right.
Would you like a little
like,
pin?
Social media is usually like an entry level position anyway. So if they're not working in,
oh yeah, where'd they go?
Where'd they go?
Fucking crazy. Well, don't like that airline.
Nope. All right. That's the end of the episode, but I do want to read a review that's been there for a while and I didn't see it.
Oh.
This says, Forever Listener M from Christina. 5 stars. I typically listen through Spotify, so sorry, Apple. However, I haven't figured out how to leave a review through that platform, so here I am. I came across Meghan in the YouTube era of Lily and Jocelyn. Adored content then and still adore it now. But January of 2016 is when I became an avid follower. I was personally struggling mentally, and as a freshman in college at the time, I was away from my support system. Meghan had posted a video, What Having Anxiety Feels Like, on her channel, and I followed along ever since. I came across Melisa through this podcast and instantly fell in love with her personality. Both women offer so many people such a safe space with their platform, and I don't know if you both truly understand the impact you have. So I will be graduating with my PhD this summer, and I truly don't think I would have gotten through all those late nights without the familiar voices and positive outlooks of both these two strong women. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, first of all, you did school so fast. No, that's like great. Those are, you just pull in fucking numbers. Like that's, oh my God. Well, I'm so glad that like we got to like be the soundtrack of your education and higher education. Like that's so cool.
Yeah. Congratulations and good luck and thank you. Like this truly meant a lot.
Yeah. That's, I anytime people like talk about like, oh, I grew up like what, like I've done this. And like there are some people who are in our Patreon as well, where it's like when people put like a timeline to it of being like, I started listening at this time and now I'm this, or we have people in the Patreon group who are like, you know, when they're doing the things, I'm like, oh my God, I remember when you were doing this thing.
Yes.
Like it's so.
Or I remember when you were in high school doing X, Y, and Z. Now you're in grad school.
Yeah. Like it's just, it's so cool because the time passes for us, I think on our end so differently. And hearing that is like really cool. And like, I like, even like we have people who are on our live stream who like listen while they're at work. And like, we used to like watch them like listen while they were like studying, or if they're between jobs, like whatever that is, like, it's just so cool to put that, like the circumstances of like people's lives and like how much has happened for people during this. So you should be so fucking proud of yourself. That's really impressive. And also like truly just like numbers wise, like that's very impressive. Cause when did they say they started listening?
2016. I mean, it's 8 years ago, but.
No, that just means you did your undergrad and PhD in 8. That's almost quite literally unheard of at this point.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. You're great. So thanks if you hear this. And if you wanted to, like, we've got a lot of grad school baddies in our Patreon group. But yeah, thank you. So nice. What a good way to end this. If you want to leave a nice review, please do. It makes our day. We have so much fun with it.
Yeah. And to the people that were complaining about the ads, we have cut them down a little bit, but you can also subscribe on Patreon.
Yeah.
And there are no ads except for on I don't want to say bonus because they're not bonus the auxiliary episodes.
And I just want you all to know that as you look at Melissa and I's life, if we suddenly start being on private yachts constantly and we're just like flashing cash, then you can be upset if we have a lot of podcast ads. Right now, no. Now.
Because like we went through a point where we didn't have ads.
Yes.
And that was like almost like we never have ever said like we're not going to do this podcast. But like we literally started the Patreon so we could continue to do the podcast.
Yeah. So just know that like we're not being greedy. We have to like we for a long time were not breaking even. Then we got to breaking even. Yep. And then when something takes a lot of time, then we have to hire more people. We have to make money so we can pay other people and then pay ourselves. Yep. So please just know that like sometimes the ads you hear, they're not for a ton of money. And yeah, I listen to things with ads all the time. And
I think we just kind of got used to things not having ads.
Yeah.
But things always had ads. Radio has ads. TV has ads. Yeah. It's a little break. You can go to the bathroom, or you can also learn about new products that you probably want.
It's like Disney Channel. They would be like, there's a new movie coming. It would Disney advertising Disney. And I was like, okay, I love that. Yeah. Thank you. Now I know what I want to watch stuck in the suburbs.
Yep. You're on Instagram. There's ads. You're on TikTok. There's ads. You got TikTok Shop. There's ads everywhere.
Yeah. And again, until you see us swimming in piles of cash and our lifestyles drastically changing, I promise you there are other people who have way more ads you can be upset about.
All right. Well, hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. And we will
circle back.
Goodbye. But Am I Wrong is a production by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa DeMonts, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
And production assistance by Melanie D. Watson.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle, what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures?
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the co-hosts of the Let me try that again. Merry Christmas, everybody. My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be massively merry, gigantically jolly, fantastically festive, as some people might say, Eric. We are all about alliterations, and we are all about Christmas spirit. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody. Let's go. It should be like, let's go, ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.